back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I'll be doing a Fruits Basket ships tier list. Have I ever done a tier list video? I can't remember if I ever have, maybe once. I don't know, I feel like I have before, but if I have, it's been a while. And I thought a great tier list to do would be to rank Fruits Basket couples and ships, because there are a lot of good ones that I love, so a lot of these will be high up on the list. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any that I absolutely hate, but we'll just see. If you know me, I think you know who my top favorite couples are going to be. I mean, there's one specific couple that you can just assume is going to be at the top of the list for me because I obsess over them all the time. In this list, I'm actually going to be, of course, using canon couples, but I also have a few ships, non-canon ships, that the fandom seems to be in favor of and has come up with. So I put those in there as well, even though they're not canon. I thought it'd be fun to still categorize them and rank them on this list, so I'm also going to be doing that. And also, because I will be talking about canon couples from Fruits Basket, I will give a warning that this video will contain manga and anime spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I recommend not to watch this video. So let's just get into the list. By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is raining. There's little pitter-patters on the roof of this RV, so you might be able to hear it in the background. It's kind of pleasant. So the way I did all the tiers on my tier list, is that what you call them? Each column is a tier. At the top is love them, meaning that I love this couple. They are perfect. Nothing wrong with them. They're at the top of my list. And the one below it is appreciate them. So that basically means I like them, but they're not I adore them status. I like them and I enjoy them. One below that is just fine, which means that I neither love the couple nor hate them. I'm just kind of like meh about them. They're just fine. I have no real opinion on them. One below that is I don't get it, which is just a step above hating the couple. I just simply don't get their dynamic, or I don't get the hype around them. So I actually can think of a few couples that can fit into this category for me, so I should have a few on this tier for sure. And the one below that is just break up right now. Like, this couple should not be together. I don't understand why they're together. I don't like them together. I don't like their dynamic, all of that. I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of couples in this tier. I can't anticipate that. I don't even know if I'll have any couples in this tier because I can't think of any couple from Fruits Basket that I absolutely despise, but we'll just see as I go along. Maybe I'll find one. So I just put that there anyway, just in case. But anyway, let's get into the actual couples. So the first one I have here is Akito and Shigure. So this one might give me some flack because I'm not the hugest fan of Akito and Shigure. I have a lot of problems with the way their romance progresses. And I feel like I'm kind of in the minority of that because I find a lot of fans really do love them and love how their romance develops. But I've always had this issue where I feel like Akito was never in the right space to get into a romantic relationship. I felt like after the curse broke, she should have just been independent, because it had taken her so long to find herself apart from being a part of the Zodiac and a part of this toxic family. It would have been nice to see her just continue to find herself on her own and not focus on a romance, which I feel like is what happens with her in the end with Shigure. I would have just preferred her to explore life on her own for a little bit and then get into a romance. And I wish Shigure would have given her the space to do that, but they just get together at the end. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I would say, oh man, either break up right now or I don't get it. I just said a little bit ago I'm probably not going to put any couples in the bottom one, which is break up right now, but I think I'm going to do it with them because like I said, I feel like they should have waited before they got into a relationship. So yeah, they're going to be at the bottom for me. The next one is Kureno and Arisa. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around them because they do have an age gap, and Arisa is still pretty young. I think when they meet, she's like 17, which isn't too bad because she's just about to turn 18, and I kind of take that into consideration, and they don't get together when she's 17, so I mean that's good at least. But I do get the controversy around them because of their age gap, but I still really like them. I really appreciate their relationship for what it is. I do feel like we don't see enough of them together, and I know the whole point of their romance is the pining for each other, and that pining comes from them being long distance and not being able to see each other. So I get that, but I wish we would have seen more scenes of them together before they actually got together. Their romance comes across borderline insta-love for me because of that. But at the same time, I find their connection very, very cute. I love their banter together. I think it's adorable. So there are things I do love about them, but they're definitely not, like, my absolute favorite. I would push them at I appreciate them, because I still really like them, even though I have a few problems with how their romance develops, but I like them okay, so I'll put them there. The next one is Ayame and Min. So the biggest problem I have with them is that we don't see enough of them. We just don't see enough of them for me to really connect to their romance. And so for that reason, I've never been like the biggest fan of them, but I also don't hate them. I do still find their relationship very cute. They work so well together because they're both so eccentric and they have a lot in common because they are both into fashion. So I like the cute connection they have. I would say I would put them as just fine. I like them, but we don't see enough of them for me to really connect to them. Which I understand, because that's hard to do when there's so many couples and characters involved in this series. You can only focus on certain couples for so long, but it would have been nice to see more of them. The next one, oh my god, I almost didn't include them because I feel like this one is going to get me canceled. But I did include Kyoko and Katsuya. So, as I've expressed before, I don't hate them. Which I know, it always scares me to say that because I know this is the most controversial couple of the whole series. I totally get that. Because of their age gap and because Kyoko is so young when they get together. And it is very valid that people really do take offense to that and don't like that. Like, I totally understand because it is an illegal relationship. So I get why they're so controversial. But although I don't love how young Kyoko is when they get together, there are aspects of their relationship that I do like. I do appreciate that Katsuya was able to take Kyoko out of a horrible situation because she had a horrible family life, and he was able to kind of bring her out of that, and in turn that made her a lot more happier. So he did help her, but I would say he helped her in the wrong way. He shouldn't have got into a relationship with her. He could have helped her get out of her situation without marrying her. So there's good and bad that goes along with their relationship. That's why I have so many mixed feelings on them. So of course they are nowhere near perfect because of the circumstances of the relationship, but there are things that I do appreciate about their relationship. So I'm gonna put them, people are gonna hate how high I'm gonna put them on this list. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna put them at I appreciate them. I think that very well sums up my feelings for them. So I'm going to leave them there. This is why I'm nervous for the movie to come out, because I am going to react to the movie. And I'm going to have a lot of opinions that may be unpopular, so nervous. Very, very nervous for it, but excited at the same time. I'm so excited for that movie. The next one is 𝑇𝑜𝑑𝑎𝑦 and Mayu. This is another couple that unfortunately we don't see a lot of. Like, they really get only one episode where we really focus on them, and it would have been nice to see more of them, of course. But from what we get, I do still like their relationship. I like how comfortable 𝑇𝑜𝑑𝑎𝑦 is around Mayu, because he seems to be a very hard person to really open up to other people, so I like how comfortable he is around her. And I think Mayu's initial crush on 𝑇𝑜𝑑𝑎𝑦 was super cute. I loved it so much. I think I'm gonna put them at I appreciate them. I think that's a good place to put them. Yeah, I would say that. Like, I definitely, out of the Mabudachi trio, 𝑇𝑜𝑑𝑎𝑦's romance is my favorite out of the three Soma adults. So I would definitely put them above Ayame and Shigeru's romance for sure. So I think that's an accurate spot. The next one is Hiro and Shika. Oh my god, they are just so cute. Like, obviously the most innocent couple of the bunch because they are still just kids, but I love their relationship so much. It's so pure and it's so wholesome, and it's really a shame that we never got to see them grown up, because I can assume that once they're like fully teenagers, they did actually get together, which would have been nice to see, but of course we don't get to see that. I would have really loved to see their romance develop further as they grow into adulthood. That would have been so nice. But from what we do get of them, I love them. I love that they're supportive of each other. I love that they are each other's shoulders to cry on and all that. I love it. So, oh my god. I think I'm going to put them at, this isn't the first, I'm going to put at the very top of the tier, because I can say I do love them so much. And the next one is Kakaroo and Komaki. So this one I really feel indifferent about. I think it's cute, but I've just never really cared for it, and I don't know if that's because Kakaroo is kind of a character that I'm kind of like, but kind of don't at times, so that might be why. And it's just the case of another couple that doesn't get enough page time to really get invested in for me, so I would say they're just fine. Like, out of all the couples here, I would say this is the one I'm just most indifferent about. Okay, this one is the first ship that is non-canon. It looks like most of the non-canon ships are towards the end of the pictures that I uploaded, so we're getting into those. So this one is Hiro and Yuki. I am so on board with this one. I wouldn't want them to canonically get together because I much prefer their canon relationships, but in an alternate universe, I would be so happy to have these two be together, and that's because I love enemies to lovers romances. That's one of my favorite romance tropes, so in an alternate universe, I would love to see their bitter relationship turn into something romantic. I think that would be awesome. And the setup for their relationship would really make for an awesome enemies to lovers romance. There would be so much angst between them that I would just eat up, so much tension because they continuously hate each other and don't get along, but there could be some moments between them where they actually start to grow to like each other, which in canon they do at the end of the series. They do grow to like each other, but of course it's completely platonic. But if that had turned into a romance, I would be so on board. So I'm gonna put them at love them. And it's funny because sometimes I'll look at shots of them from the anime and be like, you know what, out of context, this would be a very intimate moment between them. Like this picture I chose, it looks like they are about to kiss, and I completely love it so much. It's so funny, but I'm like, oh my god, you can just imagine. I remember back when I was on Twitter, I created a thread of romance moments between Hiro and Yuki, and it was just shots of them that looked intimate, but clearly were not if you knew the context of the scene. But I would just like make fun of them and be like, oh look, they're about to kiss here and all that. That was so much fun. So obviously I really love them because I created a whole ship thread on them not too long ago. That was super fun. Okay, I don't even have to say for this next one, it is Kyo and Toru. Y'all already know, absolutely love them. There's no question about it. They are my favorite romance of all time. How could I not put them at the top of this tier list? There's no way. I love them. I love everything about them. Their entire relationship from start to finish is absolutely perfect. They are relationship goals. They are what I aspire to have in a relationship. Should it happen someday, they are just the ultimate pairing that I will praise until like my dying day. Love them so much. I love the support they have for each other. I love how physically affectionate they are with each other. I love how they both helped each other grow into the person they are at the end of this series. They really contributed to each other's character growth, and it's so beautiful to see. Absolutely love that they're canon. They just make me so happy. So of course they're going to be at the top of this list, and I know so many of you will agree with me on that. The next one is Haru and Ren. My second favorite canon couple of this series. So of course they're going to be at love them. I really, really, really love how tender and sweet their relationship is. I really appreciate how Haru was there for Rin when no one else was. I actually just yesterday was rewatching the episode that focuses on Rin and her whole backstory, which is always such a hard episode for me to watch. I was crying again while watching it. And I was just thinking how much it's just such a blessing that Haru was there for her, because she had no one. Her parents hated her. Akito was constantly letting her know that no one wanted her, but Haru always wanted her, always wanted to be there for her. So I really appreciate just him just being there for her. That meant a lot to her, and without him, I don't know how well she would have kept herself together. So I love them so much. And another couple that I'm really glad is canon, because they are amazing. Next one, another non-canon ship, and that is Rin and Toru. This one is actually so popular. I see it a lot on Twitter mostly. I see where the hype for them comes from, but I prefer them more in a platonic sense. And I think that's because Rin really does see Toru as a mother figure, much like Yuki does, and I really think there's a special element to that kind of relationship, and I wouldn't want a romance to hinder that between them. I just like their relationship the way it is, so I'm gonna put them at... I don't get it. Well, I do kind of get it. But I want to put them at fine either. I'm just going to leave it at I don't get it. Because I much prefer the relationship that they have in canon. So we'll go with that. And the next one is Kakaroo and Yuki. So another relationship that I much prefer as the way it is in canon. And that's mainly because their relationship is so special to Yuki the way it is. Kakaroo is one of the first friends he was able to make outside of the Soma family, which was very important to him, to have that relationship. That was just simply a friendship. So I like their relationship the way it is. I wouldn't want a romance between them, but because they are so close, I do see why people would ship them. I'm just not really on board with that. So I'm also going to put that at I don't get it. And the next one is Yuki and Toru. I am continuously surprised on how popular this ship really is. I do not get this one. So I'm going to spoil it right there before we go any further. I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, I kind of do because they look cute together, kind of aesthetically, but I just appreciate so much the relationship that they do actually have in canon. I feel like they embody just the perfect platonic relationship that we don't see a lot between a guy and a girl in anime or in any media in general. It's so rare to just see a guy and a girl character who love each other, but just in a strictly platonic way. There's no romantic feelings between them, but they still love each other so much. It's so refreshing to see. It's so unique and so new. I think the way Yuki sees Toru as a mother is so different and just really interesting. And whereas with all these non-canon ships, a lot of people just see them as a fun thing to think about, they wouldn't want it in canon, there are a lot of fans who do wish that Yuki and Toru had been canon and are actually upset that they are not a canon couple. So this is a different situation, but I can't agree with that because there is something so special about the way Yuki sees Toru. And I will say, I'm sorry if this comes out as harsh, but I feel like the people who would have liked Yuki and Toru to be together as a couple really misunderstood their whole relationship, because their whole point of their relationship was for Yuki to find a mother figure in her. So I think wanting them to be together just kind of disregards his actual feelings for her, which is a shame because his feelings for her are so valid. The fact that he was able to find a mother figure in her and someone to lean on is awesome, and it really helped him a lot and helped him grow as a character. So I think it's a shame that a lot of people really seriously wanted them to be together and even got upset about it at the end. I just feel like it's such a, I don't know, slap in the face to Yuki and his actual feelings for her, which are so valid. So I can't agree on that. I will never ever ship them together. I much prefer their canon relationships because they are perfect and done so well. I just think Yuki and Toru would never work out in an actual romantic sense. And I can go further into why I think that is, but that would take a lot of explaining. So I do think I actually want to do a separate video on why I don't think Yuki and Toru would ever work together and go into more detail with that. I might do that someday. I think that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't get it. I will never ship them. I'll never be on board with that. The next one, Yuki and Machi. So this is the romantic relationship that is right for Yuki, hands down. I love them so much. I'm gonna put them at love them. I love how Machi really understood Yuki. She was able to understand him behind his princely facade, and she understood that underneath his smiles he was actually hurting. She was able to see through that, and in return she was able to help him through that when no one else understood him. Everyone put him at such a high pedestal that they couldn't see beneath the mask that he was putting on and how much he was hurting. But Machi, man, she saw that and she helped our boy. I love her so much for that. And in turn, Yuki was able to help Machi so much with her past trauma because he was able to relate to it. And because he was able to relate to it, he was able to understand her and help her through it. I love the support they have for each other. I love that they helped each other grow. They are so perfect together. So I would definitely say they are at the top of my list. And I think it's a shame that there are quite a few fans who don't like them together and called Machi a replacement for Toru. I think that's totally wrong and really undermines Machi's character. So I, for one, love them. I think they deserve each other. I will completely stand by this relationship. And the last one, this is another non-canon romance that I actually really do love. That is Momiji and Toru. Had Kyo never been in the picture, I would have been totally on board for Momiji and Toru to be together. I think they are so sweet, and they're another couple that has a lot of wholesomeness to them. I think it's really sad how in the end Momiji wasn't able to be with Toru because he was in canon in love with her, but he gave her up because he saw how much Kyo loved Toru, and Toru in turn loved Kyo so much that he knew he didn't stand a chance. I felt really sad for him because he really truly did love Toru. I think he would have treated Toru so well had they been in a relationship, but of course I will always prefer Toru with Kyo. But I do love Momiji and Toru's relationship in a romantic sense. I think they would have been so cute together. So I'm gonna put them at love them. I love them so much. I also love the relationship for what it is. I do love their friendship, but they could have totally worked in a romance, definitely. So it looks like I had a lot of couples in the love them category, which I anticipated because there are so many couples that I really do love from Fruits Basket. So that's no surprise there. And I did have one in the breakup right now category, which, like I said in the beginning, I didn't really expect that to happen, but I think Akito and Shigure in that category for me is pretty accurate. And then I had a few in between. So yeah, that is my list. Let me know if you guys agreed with me on any of these and the tiers that I put them in. I did make this tier list on tiermaker.com, so I'll leave a link to this tier below if you want to fill it out for yourself. You're totally welcome to. And I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime-related videos, book-related videos, and of course, Fruits Basket type videos in the future. I am on social media, so if you would like to follow me there, I will leave those links in the description box, and I upload every Tuesday and Saturday, and I'll be back really soon. Bye!